for a minute, and all of a sudden you can focus out. And then eventually later in the trip you realize that's like the cycle of life and death. Because I had a real religious moment, because I seen this giant dude, and it's funny, because he looks like the Lord Olmec dude or whatever, the guy you train summoning and craftiness. I've never seen him before that trip. And he looked like a giant version of him, but with armor, and instead of like hard antlers, he had these really tall feelers that he was able to use as like real condensed nerve endings, kind of like certain funguses condense theirs. But he was able to like grab my conscious out of my body. And I remember I was staring at him like, you look familiar. Do I know you?
No.
Yeah, dude, I remember him, because I remember a similar something experience when I was like really little, dude. Because children are born with a divinity that, you know, the whole purpose of life is trying to find and remember that divinity. I'm eating raisins.
I can't relate to any of this.
No, but I can tell you some things about pot. When I first smoked it, like, I didn't get high. The second time I smoked it, I got a pretty good buzz off of it, but I didn't have enough, and it wasn't really that good.
Damn.
And the first time I really got stoned off my ass, I felt bubbly. I felt like I could bounce around the room, and I got tracers. Now I got furnace fire in the background.
It sounds exactly like how it went for me.
Yeah, that was like the first time I really felt stoned. And then like after that, it's not like the same, because you get used to it, and you just get used to the haze that you're in. I mean, some people don't. Like my girlfriend, she had a out-of-body experience on pot. I mean, I had one before, but like she sat there and she went really into focus about something in her mind, and she was really out of it, and she didn't breathe for like a couple minutes or so, and her body forced her to breathe, and she was like, wait a minute, what's this feeling? Oh, what the hell am I supposed to be doing? And then she's like, breathing. But it's hard for me to have an out-of-body experience on pot. A lot of novice smokers or people that just don't have a tolerance built up to it kind of experience some heavy feelings, but you know, that's nothing compared to alcohol. Alcohol, you know, it sneaks up on you. I mean, because it's a poison, it'll sneak up on you pretty fast, and it'll fuck you. It'll just, basically, it just pulls back the real you, which acid actually brings out and shows you even more of the real you, and mushrooms kind of like pulls you apart widely. Like, if you're having a bad time on mushrooms, like what I did was I thought the word purple, I said purple, and even saying the word purple just makes you fucking smile. And it made me laugh my ass off, dude. It made me feel big, like my body was expanding, like, really fucking fast. And if like I felt bad, I'd feel real small on mushrooms. I'd feel like really, really small and condensed, and I'd be like really uncomfortable with it. And then I said purple, and everything got better. But like, I think my biggest regrets was just taking them as soon as I could out of curiosity, instead of waiting for the proper time, place, and setting. And I think what sucked most about it was when I ate the mushrooms, they were rotten. Like, they were old, rotten mushrooms, so it gave me a fucking respiratory infection, because one of my buddies pulled my vomit off my lip. Because if you have bad mushrooms, or old mushrooms, they'll make you throw up, because your body is going to make you throw up if you're tripping like hard where you see visuals, because it's a poison. And eventually what happened to me was I started cramping real hard, like my arms and my wrists, everything started cramped. I felt like I was being compressed. But like, you drink some milk, it'll create enzymes in your stomach that'll just, kill the poison and kill the trip. On acid, hell no. I don't even care if it was strychnine, just, rat poison laced with it so I could trip. I don't give a two fucks, man. I drank as much milk as I could, and nothing happened, and I threw up. It was already in my system. So, there's no off switch for acid. There's off switch for mushrooms, and there's an off switch for alcohol. And I like things that have an off switch, like pot. Except when I did mushrooms, it was different because I was walking. My plan was to walk all the way across down to my buddy's house and trip balls over there. He's an older friend. And I never fucking made it over there because they kicked in. I was walking, my legs felt like noodles, and everything was so weird. And then traffic freaked me out. But I was able to make it, but I couldn't stop smiling. And then I started sweating balls, which was my downfall because I had too many layers on hot out. I just kept sweating. And then I stopped by my other buddy's house and I told him what I was doing. And he was fucking staring at me like, holy shit, he's tripping hard. And I told him I asked him to take me home, and he did, which was a bad idea because I was by myself at home and I thought I was gonna die. For some reason, I keep relating everything to death. But after the acid trip, I know why I do that. Is because that's the whole purpose of life. You're put on this earth, this corporeal, physical form, so you can do what needs to be done. And what needs to be done is you need to set up another. You just need to put something up and build stuff and do things so that your offspring can have a better life than you, so that the offspring could continue building and continue growing, because that's the whole point of life and death, dude. If you look it up, mushrooms ruled the earth at one point, and if you ever look at certain mitochondria and certain slimes, they basically build connections. The biggest living organism on earth is fungus, and it just builds this massive network that looks like the inside of the human conscious, the synapse, the fucking neurons and shit that fire off, and you have serotonin levels and shit, all of that, But that's a big thing about acid. It extremely overloads your serotonin receptors, and it will hinder them for a little bit, so you have to have some time to recover, which is how people have acid, flashbacks and stuff. I gave myself post-traumatic stress disorder from the seizure, and I put myself in a psychosis from staying awake during the trip, or when the trip was going to take hold. So it caused a little bit of problems, but after some time, my brain was able to heal. But the seizure caused me to feel emotions completely differently now, and that's just a whole different side. That's just a seizure, which is probably the scariest thing that ever happened to me. Because at one point I thought I was gonna be gay. I don't feel love in the butterflies. Yeah, I don't feel the love or butterflies and shit when I'm with my girlfriend, or I don't have feelings besides certain anxieties, angers and shit. And my brain started triggering adrenaline. But I don't know, man. I'd redo the trip. I'd probably, stay away from monitors and TVs. And I just have music going, and probably have some a little karaoke machine that produces some lights going around. That'd be really trippy. And dude, you have to have a girlfriend with you, or a trip sitter with you when you're tripping, to make you at least think straight, or make sure he's tell you, hey, you're doing okay, you're perfect right now. Everything's awesome right now. You're awesome. And then you're oh. And then you fall into the trip, and then you go into a world that seems so familiar to you from such a long time ago, and the only thing you can think of is when you're little, because you only remember your physical form. You don't remember being born, but you could. I really wish I could describe the cycle for you, because it's the cycle in your head that I want to say it funneled down for me because I was having a bad trip. But I went to my buddy's house earlier today, and I was thinking about his acid trip that he had, because his dad got him some, and he was going to have him experience for the first time because he's an experienced person. Well, I could imagine how his trip went in his house because I've been fucked up in that house with him, drinking so many times. It's like kind of awkward to be in. But the trip would be like you're in this room and you're laughing your ass off because it's funny and people are funny and the situation's funny.